Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's video. All right, today we are starting a brand new series here on the channel, and we are calling it What Cruisers Want. Now, that is a little bit of a play on words, and I'm going to kind of explain that to you. So there are cruise passengers that like to write in. They like to make different requests to cruise lines saying, hey, this is what you need to do. This is what you ought to do, because everybody I talk to agrees with me. Everybody thinks this is a good idea. Everybody wants this change. We've all seen these kinds of stories. We've all heard about these kinds of stories. And so I'm going to start a series where I share these kinds of stories with everybody out there. Now, I am getting these from John Heald's Facebook page. These are written into Carnival Cruise Lines in particular, but they could be put on any cruise line. They could affect any cruise line, or it could be a change that anybody could ask of any cruise line. They are not necessarily Carnival specific requests. And these requests go from, just a routine kind of request, an idea or a suggestion, not necessarily a good one, not necessarily one that everybody agrees with, but just an idea, all the way up to, man, some head scratching, what are you thinking kind of questions. And I figure, hey, once a week, we'll put out a video and share some of these with you. So we're going to jump right in and go with our first three stories. Why does Carnival not change the ship time to match the island time? It is also very confusing to your passengers. I believe most would prefer to be on the same time as the islands. Nobody really worries too much about changing time during cruises. Carnival should do this like other cruise lines do. All right, so like I said, written into Carnival, but this could apply to any cruise ship. And what do y'all think? Is it better to leave the cruise ship on ship time, even when you get off in the ports? Or would it be better and easier to change your times as you pass through different time zones? Your port of call has a different time. Would it be better to change the times? Now, here's going to be my answer. And my answer is leave it alone. Stay on ship time. That is honestly, in my opinion, the least confusing option out there. So this happened to us once. When we were on the Disney Wonder in January, they had us change time on board the ship. We had to change it one day. 2 days later, we had to change it back to exactly where it was. And honestly, changing my ship time was way more confusing than it is worrying about what time it is on the island. Ship time says I disembark at port at 8 o'clock in the morning. I have to be back on board by 3 o'clock. I'd rather my time just be consistent no matter what time it really is in the port. It could be 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the port, but ship time, all aboard time, 3 o'clock. That is what I want to know. That is my opinion. But y'all let me know in the comments below. Do you think the ships should change time, or should they leave time the way it is? And like I said, this is an example of one that's not outrageous. It's not crazy, but it is something. Now, let's take a look at the second one. I just read that Virgin Voyages features a tattoo parlor on its newest ship. What a concept. But shouldn't Carnival dip its own tattooed toe into this market? Many Carnival passengers have them already, and besides, a tattoo parlor would offer so many pricing opportunities. A discounted Carnival tattoo of the day, which gets you discounts off your next cruise based on how many Carnival tattoos you have. So let's put this to a vote, Heald. Should Carnival ships offer tattoos? Do not dismiss this lightly, because you will see how many Carnival passengers say yes to this as well. So yes, Virgin Voyages, both of their cruise ships, do have tattoo parlors on board, and you can get a tattoo if you are cruising on Virgin Voyages. But do y'all think other cruise ships, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian, MSC, should they all put tattoo parlors on board their ship as well? Now, the folks that answered this in the comments most completely disagreed with that statement. And most of that had to do with the process of actually getting a tattoo and being in an environment where it can heal properly, thinking that, hey, a saltwater pool, oceans, beaches, and other activities like that while on a cruise ship were not the best environment to get a tattoo for the proper healing process. That if you want to get a tattoo, get it on land, not get it on a cruise ship. So most people were not interested, according to the comments, of having tattoo parlors added on board cruise ships. Again, me specifically, just my opinion. I don't have any tattoos. So I honestly don't have an opinion on it one way or the other. It doesn't affect me whether it's there, and it doesn't affect me whether it's not. But y'all let me know in the comments below. Should cruise ships add more tattoo parlors? And I have one more for you today, and this one, in my opinion, leans a little more to the head scratching side of the requests that we will see and we will talk about here over this video series. But let's jump into this one. I have a question for you, John, and for the people at the top of Carnival Cruise Lines. My life partner and our two children were on the Panorama last week for a 7-day cruise. Why do you not do more to assist and to service the thousands of Carnival Cruise Line passengers who homeschool their children? There should be a classroom or a specific room on the boat for children to be able to study and do their assignments. Please, John, do not say that there are places, because there are none that have either music blasting or the permanent disruption of other passengers. John, there are 12 million children across the United States that are homeschooled. I hope you are intelligent enough to calculate that many of them will cruise with Carnival Cruise Lines. Yes, I want my children to stay on track. I have two boys, 4th and 7th grade. They deserve a place to be able to have 3 or 4 hours each day to do their studies. I talked to a lot of people out on the pool deck on the Panorama. And one thing that was almost always small talk was about our kids' homeschool situation. We need a classroom, Mr. Heald. Fact. All right, so this passenger wants Carnival, or in, like I said, any cruise line, to set aside a specific space on the cruise ship for homeschooling children. Do y'all think the cruise lines should have a space for homeschooling children? Here's my opinion. May not be a popular one, but I'm gonna give it anyway. It's called your cabin. If you want to go on vacation and have your kids do schoolwork while on vacation, it's called your cabin. Public spaces on cruise ships will have other passengers in them. There will be music, there will be noise, there will be activities. So if you want a private, quiet space to sit your kids down and have them do schoolwork instead of being on vacation, that's called your cruise cabin. At least that's what I would think. Now, I've taken my kids on cruises during the school year before. Why? Because I think that cruising is a great educational opportunity without taking any school books with you. We are talking about a cruise ship that has crew members from all over the earth, different countries, different backgrounds, different everything. This is an opportunity for children to actually meet and speak and interact with people all around the world. You're going to go to different ports. You're going to get off. You're going to learn history, culture, all kinds of things can be learned just from going on a cruise. If you want to make it an educational experience, you can do so without a classroom, without a textbook, just by interacting with people and the places that you visit. Even the passengers can come from all different walks of life, other children from all different walks of life. I think that cruising can be a truly educational experience if that's what you want it to be. It can also be a lay by the pool, read a book, play in the pool, and go down the water slide experience if that's what you want it to be. And when I take my kids on vacation, yes, they get something educational out of it simply from the experience. But I also don't think they need to do 3 and 4 hours of schoolwork a day while on vacation. But again, that's me. Y'all let me know in the comments below. Agree or disagree with what this cruise passenger wants. All right, And that's going to be the 3 stories we have for you guys today. Let me know about this video series. What do you think? Something you guys are interested in? Something you're not interested in? Again, let me know in the comments below. That way we can keep this conversation going. All right, I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, do me a favor, like always, hit that thumbs up button for me. Have yourself a great day, and we will see you out on the high seas.